Hello. I don't know if anybody is on yet, so I'm gonna wait. Hey guys, I'm here. I'm drinking tea. I also have water. I'm just gonna show y'all my jar of water. I'm constantly drinking. Oh hey, hi. So yeah, I almost never go live, at least not out in public. I have a group I go live in, but I rarely do it out on my Facebook page. You guys might start seeing me a little bit more because I've got a lot to say, so it's time to start saying it. Today, I was kind of contemplating communication. It's been something that I've been thinking about a lot. You know, how we communicate, what we communicate about, the spirit of communication. What are we doing? And one of the quotes that came to mind, right, is from a it's a fake Buddha quote, right? So I don't think Buddha actually said this, but it's like before you speak, allow it to pass through three gates. Is it kind? Is it true? And is it necessary? And that's really something to think about because speaking is one of those things that we do very mindlessly. I won't say we. Some of us are very mindful, but in general, in a very communication heavy time, folks just kind of spew their vomit, like their vocal mental vomit just all over the place, right? And so we're all subjected to it, especially on social media. It's really interesting because I right around the beginning of October, I was like, am I going to get rid of Facebook? Because I was being subjected and consuming other people's Facebook messaging and trying to understand, like, what exactly am I consuming? What is this, all of this communication? So one of the things that kind of came up in my contemplation is the idea of the throat center, right? So we've got, if you understand the chakras or know anything about them, your throat center is where you communicate from, right? And that is probably the most mundane explanation of what the throat center is about. You know, simple communication. These are words going between people and messaging. But in reality, the throat center is about a lot more than just communication. It's about manifestation. So on a mundane level, it's just how we speak to one another. But on a higher level, it's actually how we create everything because it's a direct connection from our thoughts right out into the world. So, you know, if you're looking through Facebook and you're seeing people discuss like, oh, I'm going through a thing, I've had relationship issues, or I'm having financial problems, or I'm having just all of these different kinds of issues. A lot of times they're sharing from a place of commiseration, right? But when you break down that word, first of all, commiseration typically means like, to show sympathy for. But I don't know. I love words and I tend to chop them up a little bit differently. And when I think about commiseration, it's almost like misery loves company, co-miserating, to be miserable together. And it's like, oh, why would I want to draw other people into my miserable state of being? And why would I want to add energy to that? So being mindful about, spreading even your personal troubles. Like I typically, instead of just mindlessly spreading what I'm going through, I go through it, with myself. And, if that means I have to reach out to friends, very carefully though, because when you're laying out and communicating that to them, you're laying that on them. So, there's a fine line, right? Because people say, oh, mental health, you can get very isolated. But a lot of times, many of the things that we're going through are self-created. So when do we start being honest about that? So I created a mess, and then I want to spread it out and just put it all over other people. So I'm going through my shit, and I got poop on my hand, right? I got the boo-boo touch. I'm going to reach out and put that on you. So, just being very mindful about what I'm communicating and what I'm manifesting in the world. You're allowed to go through whatever you're going through, but be really careful about how you spread that around. And also ask yourself, like, how am I being responsible with my own experience? Because this life is yours. As much as we like to look outward and blame others or involve other people in our drama, our stories are our own, and to own your story, to own your part in it is a very important part of growth, right? So mindful communication is super important and something that we all could stand to embrace a little bit more, to be careful about what we'll lay on other people, and even careful about what we will express before we fully processed it. Allow yourself to process whatever you're going through. Allow yourself to be fully in it, and not necessarily always reach out to pull other people in, because some of this stuff it's up to you. It's on you. And it's not that you can't reach out and get help, but I don't know, just understand right now we're in an age where we have these fantastic devices, and our messages can travel across the world at record speed, so fast. What are you spreading? What are you communicating to others? What are you manifesting in your life and in the lives of others? So yeah, that was pretty much all I really wanted to come on and say is, like, being very careful, mindful of how we use this throat center. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. And that goes for things like you don't like. It's really funny. I saw someone post something and it was like, I can't believe that this person did this, right? So it was a video and it was something they clearly didn't like, but they were spreading it. So when you're spreading things you don't like, are you just simply calling attention to the thing you don't like? Or are you possibly promoting the thing you don't like so that there'll be more of that same kind of thing? So on a mundane level, communication, but on a divine level, it's manifestation. And if I could just flip it on over, because I'm not really into duality. I'm actually more of a this, that, and the third thing. The third is, in this case, profanity. So what's the profane side of the communication? You got to be careful out here. This is much more than just the physical, the things you can touch. It's more than just the mental and the things you can think about. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about the health of our societies based on the way we energetically interact with one another. Are you being responsible with your throat? Anyway, I love you guys. And thanks so much for joining me. And I don't know, I'll probably be going on live a little bit more. And I've got a new group coming. It's really funny because most of you don't know that I run some pretty intense Facebook groups. One is called Mana Sisters. Mana Sisters is for manifestor women. According to Human Design, I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about that. Human Design is a kind of a, we'll call it new astrology. That's probably my easiest way to say it. But actually, it's a synthesis system. So it combines astrology, the I Ching, and some other systems, including the chakra system, to paint a really accurate picture of a person. So I have Mana Sisters, which is for manifestor women. I've got Sisters RSVP, which is a group for projector women. And there's also something coming called the Pink Chrysalis, and that will be open to all women. The Pink Chrysalis is just going to be a place where we play around with all kinds of stuff. So it'll be spirituality, human design, astrology, tarot, whatever you can think of, you name it, we'll be doing it, just exploring ways for us to work on ourselves and to actually more allow the work that is within us to work its way out. if you can imagine a caterpillar going into a chrysalis and allowing the change to happen. A caterpillar doesn't plan to go into the chrysalis, it just happens. So anyway, thanks again. And I don't know, look out. I'll be going live again. And hopefully we can talk some more about things. Leave in the comments if there's something you would like for me to talk about or something that's been on your mind, because trust me, there's all kinds of like metaphysical and also just ancient wisdom that can really help you through almost any kind of situation. That's another thing. So if you're seeking wisdom, you know, that's something that you share, not just your problems. Anyway, take care, guys. Love you. Bye. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I guess I'm not. Hey, guys. I guess I'm still, I'm still on. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right.